Morning, everyone. We are at the Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal, and we're going to be heading over to Vancouver Island to explore the Victoria area. We've never been on that side of the island before. Like usual, we don't really have a plan, but we do have a couple places that we want to go. So should be a lot of fun. Ferry should be loading here in about 20 minutes. It's extremely foggy this morning, so we were a little curious if that was going to slow things down. Not so sure if the boats can sail when it is so foggy, but so far so good. We should get over to the island about 10:30ish, and then off to our first adventure for the day.
So I did a lot of changes, health changes, and with a lot of...
Head south on Swartz Bay, BC, Fulford Harbor, BC toward ferry ramp.
Beautiful day. When we left, it was just very wet and foggy, and then sun's out. We're in a beautiful forest, and we're gonna go just hopefully find an old mine. That's a big tree. Beautiful. It's huge. Well, not too far up the trail, and this is what we came for. That is a small adit, that's for sure. What I love about the island is they aren't really afraid to just share. You can hear the echoing. But this adit and a shaft, a gold rush and gold stream area at approximately 1863. Approximately 300 miners. Gold was $17.85 per ounce. That's neat. Small amount of copper was also mined near here. 1898 and 1991. That's cool. Well, let's get our flashlight and go check this out. All right. Oh, it's a little wet. Oh, wow, that's tiny. That is a small. I'm 5'10", and it's definitely wetter. This only goes in, I think that's where it faces out right there. It only goes in about 40 feet. So no point in getting wet feet for something that small, but definitely really, really cool. The shaft, they would be trying to connect it. So the shaft is probably right down there, and they were trying to intersect it. And I'm assuming missed. Goes down a lot further than I thought. I think I see bottom there. So, 20 feet. Or there's definitely water. And they've tried to kind of block it. But over time. Or that was their attempt right there. So one downside of bringing a dog in the van is having a wet dog. And Maverick, the type of hair that he has, he just kind of absorbs it just like a human would. And yeah, it's so wet. And we don't want him to stink. But I can see the trestle. Look at that, guys. That's a work of art. It's sketchy too. Holy cow, that is so high. All right, location number 2, I guess you could say. We're hoping to head down to Mystic Beach. It's just another touristy spot right along the ocean. As you can see, it is very busy with lots of tourists. We did pass some pretty amazing looking spots, and we're hopefully going to get one of those when we are done here. Should be a pretty quick hike and straightforward, basically that way. And hopefully it's as beautiful as it looks down there. These forests over here on this side of the island are very rainforest-like. A lot like Hope, actually. Just tons of moss, very green. It's January, and look where we are right now. It's pretty incredible. Lots of people. Holy crap, look at all the people here. These types of hike aren't a lot of fun when there's this many people, but it's a beautiful spot, so what do you expect? Almost there, guys. You can smell the ocean. Some people don't like the smell of the ocean. I love it. Oh. Beautiful. When Chrome talks about just how every day is so epic in van life, if this was your everyday, yeah, I think that is pretty epic. Well, I don't want to say that we crushed that hike, but 2.4K in about 45 minutes. So in total today, we've done almost 8. I think it'd be 7.4 kilometers, so not too bad. a lot of fun, beautiful, and probably would have loved to stay a little bit longer, but unfortunately want to get to a spot and actually enjoy enjoy kind of the evening. It's been a long day, you know, trying to get off work last night till 9. We had to finish packing. By time, you know, we just spent a little bit of time with Hudson and the kids. Went to bed around 11-ish, 11:30, up at 20 after 4, and on the road at about 5:30. So it's been a long day. We've drove close to probably 4 hours total. We've hiked almost 8 kilometers, hour and a half boat ride. It'd be nice now to just, you know, find a spot, enjoy the little bit of sun that we have left, eat some food, and just enjoy another night in the van. Well, this is definitely a van life spot. Right on the side of the road, and a beautiful location here. Hopefully we won't get the knock. It doesn't say anything about not being able to park here. I kind of wanted to park back a little bit further, but it'll work. Well, this is definitely a beautiful spot. We will have the sound of the road probably till later tonight, but that's all right. To have a view like this, the sunset is going to be probably pretty epic, so a dry place for him to play around in. You can play at the seaweed, right? No? Seaweed? Maverick? This, to me, is what van life is about. Camping here with our rooftop tent would definitely stand out a whole lot more. We just kind of blend in with everybody. You know, there was like really sweet Volkswagen buses down there, Savannah vans, Astro vans. There's some people over there having a fire. Maverick playing with a rock. Is that a rock? Yeah, pretty darn awesome. So Cheyenne bought me this for Christmas. This is a Starlink Mini. So it's all set up and ready to go. This will be the first test though tonight. I just got to figure out which way's north. And just like that, we got full bars of Wi-Fi. So I just use my compass on my phone, so then I get a direct, you know, where north is, and that's north. And then it has more than enough cable. And then I have a little 600 watt Bluetti power station at the back of the van, and that is going to be basically meant for that thing. So I'm not 100% sure how much wattage it's taking, but it's not much. And then we have a Bluetti power station for our freezer, and then the all powers for the diesel heater, which we'll hook up a little bit later. But yeah, I think we're just going to go for a little bit of a walk, enjoy the sunset, and then probably start cooking up some food. So, today was a good day. Very busy, got a lot done, which is always really good. We're doing this, it's a pre-cooked rice, and I think this is a sweet sour pork. Picked up at Costco. Came with 2 meals, so who knows how much this is going to be. If it's enough for 2 people, but we'll see. We got another one we can cook up if we're hungry. Not so sure if you guys have ever seen these before, but these are called rugged wipes, and basically they're just like a soft towel with soap on it, and you basically just wash up, wipe yourself dry, and you are good to go. It's got an aloe vera, so it's good for sensitive skin. It does get very sudsy. I'll kind of show you here. As you can see, the bubbles on my hand and stuff. Really, really good for van life and overlanding. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. We're just going to relax, go on our phones, and just enjoy the evening and listening to the ocean waves. So that's it, guys. We'll see you in the next video, and for us it will be tomorrow, so we'll see you then. Good morning, Vancouver Island. All right, that. Oh, we got another van lifer over there. Beautiful. The tide has really come up. Last night it was way out there, basically where that white water's coming in. We did check the tide charts and we thought it was going to be low tide this morning, but as you can see, that's not the case. But man, what a beautiful spot. Sun is coming out. Got a couple van lifers over there. So we could have slept there, but I think this was our own little private oasis. But you can see how high the water does get. You know, there's seaweed there. There's seaweed all the way up here, which would almost breach the road at that point. So luckily it didn't get that high, but so nice sleeping to the sound of the waves and crashing the shores this morning. We thought it was getting windy, but then realized just how close the water got. That is a very strange shell. If it is a shell, I don't know. Turn it over here. The other side, right there. I don't know if that's a barnacle. It looks like a rock. So much fun just walking the shores, you know, like, look at that seaweed. Look at the color of it. It's like paper thin. Got little air pockets. Just so much just unique stuff. Like this, I forgot what this is called. That long tube. Basically hollow like a straw. Very slimy. But just even like the driftwood. Look at that, just so unique. And who knows how long that's been in the ocean for. Some more shells right here. So we thought for sure we were gonna get the knock on the door, just because to my right is a regional park. The parking lot over there, where there is people, says no camping. So it didn't say no parking or no camping along the road here, but we definitely thought we were gonna get the knock. I don't know if it's because it's off season that we didn't, but we're gonna try to follow the rules. You know, if it says no camping, we won't camp. If it says no parking, obviously we won't park there. But if any of those signs aren't there, then I guess, you know, you take that risk, but it was totally worth it. This so far to me feels like what it would be like living in a van. You know, we really didn't know where we were going to sleep. We had some ideas. We could have chosen a traditional campground, but not too many campgrounds have a view like this. And even if they did, you're right beside people, and that's not fun, at least for us. But tonight definitely kind of felt, because it was, you know, we went to bed having those nerves and that excitement. Are we going to get the knock? You know, are we going to have to move at 3 in the morning? And luckily nothing happened. And us picking this spot, it was Cheyenne that was like, let's stay here. It paid off, because it was an absolutely beautiful night. Out here in my t-shirt for the majority of the evening. Oceanfront camping. Stayed nice and cozy in the van. Totally get why people do this lifestyle. I'm pretty sure we got some sea otters kind of breaching every once in a while. I thought those were maybe floating logs. Another one over here somewhere. I have no idea what that is. I'm guessing it's just a tree with limbs. Or maybe there's some sea otters that are going on it. For a sec there, it looked like a dead whale or something, but I swear you can see some movement. So not so sure if I've shown you guys yet, but this is kind of our window coverings. We do want to do something a little bit nicer, like buy one of these in black. But what we did is we bought these magnets that kind of look like chess pieces, pawns, and we put a little tiny hole and then just put some glue on the back side. But look how well that works. Obviously with two hands it's a lot easier, but once you adjust, yeah. Again, and very rough and not, you know, pleasing to the eye, but still like very simple. And I think we picked this up at Canadian Tire for like 10 bucks. These magnets for 20 was about 11, 12 bucks. So to have these window coverings that just go on with one hand work really, really well. So we're on our way now to Port and Renfrew, and this road is brutal. Just the ups and downs and unevenness. It is so just bumpy. It actually flipped our heat up to top level. All of a sudden, just started blowing really hard, and then I realized it was up one more notch. Beautiful drive. Says 50K, but we've literally been doing, you know, 35 to 40, because it is so bumpy. Well, this area is even more touristy than the other. There's a few people here with surfboards. Even look like some people that are either spending the entire day here because they had like their camping rigs all set up, tables outside, things like that. Walking on basically a pea gravel. Another beautiful morning. When we got up about 7-ish, it was just so foggy. Couldn't see the sky at all, and now again it's blue skies. The sun was shining. The trees are just covered in a moss. Oh, crazy. It's beautiful in here. Very just lush and green. Kind of feels like we're walking in this old forest. Some of the old growth trees and taking advantage of trees that have fallen. That's growing out of the roots. Just for scale, guys, look at this. That is huge. Massive tree. That's one of the largest I think I've ever seen. There's a few of them. One behind there. This one here. Just holy cow. This one is just beefy the whole way up. It's incredible. This is pretty, just the aura is incredible. I can see why this one would be hard with the tide. Well, guys, we're almost here. As Shine just said, we're already there. Oh, wow. This has definitely got a rainforest vibe. Oh, look at this, guys. This is pretty incredible. So we're just at Botanical Beach, if I'm saying that right. Just stopped here to make some lunch, kind of clean out the van a little bit, just do some tidying. But yeah, it's been a long day. Lunch, doing up some breakfast wraps. Yes, please. Oh, this is going to taste so good. Well, back on the road and heading back east, I guess you could say. Hoping to do some exploring on now this side of the island. We wanted to kind of start at one end and then work our way back to where the ferry is. It's really hard going past our camp spot from last night. It is so beautiful. It was such a wicked spot. But hopefully tonight will be just as nice. And even if it is something just like a campground or whatever, that's fine too. But we got about an hour drive, and then we'll be at our location for this afternoon. Well guys, we're here at our secret location today. Don't want to say where we're at, but it is definitely really, really cool. Now this place was built in 1980, I believe, and it was supposed to be a huge resort with 250 rooms, something like that. It's got a massive fireplace, and unfortunately, just with the cost of, you know, building supplies going up, it failed. And this is all that is left, is basically all the concrete work. But yeah, this is pretty darn cool. Look, that's a fireplace. Look at that. You can just see just the design of stuff. Probably would have been an amazing place. And it still is pretty amazing. There's way more to see here with some awesome graffiti. All these stairs to basically nowhere. Okay, this is underneath the fireplace. A rock. That's a giant rock. All right. Stonework is just incredible. Like, look at all the, just his attention to detail is amazing. Oh, wow. Wow. This kind of feels like we're just walking through an old castle. Stairs everywhere. Wow. Yeah, that is. Look at that, guys. That is pretty darn just bright. So that was going to be a fireplace too. Again, just beautiful. Although I don't like seeing graffiti in some places, places like this just adds that abandoned feel. Wow, so cool. The way nature's kind of growing over all the graffiti. This is definitely some, like, that's amazing. That is almost just breathtaking. That is so just, holy cow. Yeah, I know. Is that not crazy? They go down to a platform down there. That is incredible. This place is absolutely just breathtaking. The amount of stairs everywhere and the arches, so much just attention to detail here. It's incredible. Literally just built on a side of a cliff here. Okay. Wow. This place is just amazing. Yeah, a little hole there for ventilation. Wow, this would have been so cool to see in its heyday if it would have ever happened. Load up. This way. Load up. That was super cool. Glad that we ended up coming over this way. But now we got to go to either McDonald's or Tim Hortons to charge at least one power station. We checked when we were in Port Renfrew, at the library, but it was closed. We have probably enough power to get through tonight, but we just want to top up while we can, so that's what we're doing next. All right, we're here in Sooke, and at the laundromat, they're letting us charge there. McDonald's didn't have anything. I offered to pay. He said I didn't have to, but I did anyways, just because they're doing us a favor.
So if you ever run into a pickle, maybe ask a local small shop and offer to pay. That's awesome.
Well, while we're waiting for the chargers to pack, might as well go pick up some supplies. The Village Food Market. So we were heading down here to Rocky Point Road, and on maps it looks like you could camp along the ocean there. Looks like there was a few vehicles, but notice controlled access area. All person, their personal property, and their vehicle entering or exiting are subject to search. An individual has the right to refuse consent to search by not entering the controlled access area. Once an individual has entered the controlled access area, the person forfeits their right to refuse a search. There was a gate. As I was driving through, I saw the notice controlled area and then basically stopped as soon as I got through, and then realized there's a gate. That's maybe like a bunk house or something. But it did say there was a sign as soon as we turned on this road. It's a Canadian like military base, but I didn't know that it was like actually like we were gonna drive by it. I just thought maybe it was giving directions or whatnot. So definitely not going camping there. So now it's plan B. Well, we're set up at camp. Little change of plan, but that's all right. Still a beautiful spot. We'll show you guys around tomorrow morning. We've done a lot these past 2 days, and we have some big plans for tomorrow. So getting a good night's rest and not driving around hoping It's surprising just how busy it is on the island, even in the off season. We're lucky that we've been able to find spots. So for supper, just doing sizzling smokies, a cheddar, and then a maple bourbon salad.
My favorite.
So changed up a little bit. Just trying new things. So put our utensils in here until we get some drawers and stuff. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, guys, we are going to go to bed. Let's see, off switch here. Hey, morning crew. Just wanted to share with you before we get going today, just this amazing spot beside the marina. So quiet last night. Just the stars were incredible. Awesome place to spend the night. But like I said, we have to catch a ferry at 7 o'clock over to the mainland and then back home. So we got a lot to do today. So let's hit the road. So we're just at a beautiful camp spot for the night on Vancouver Island. And we've had a few people ask about our backpack. Now this is one of the backpacks that we had on our Chevy Tahoe. And these are super just convenient when it comes to, you know, keeping things like your diesel fuel, spare oil. They do call it a trash bag. So again, when you're out camping, to not have to worry about putting your garbage inside your van, inside your vehicle, these are super handy. Now they're basically just like a giant backpack. Now what's good about ours is we do have this window here, but the straps are probably long enough you could go up and over. You would just have the straps covering your back window. Now these do come in all different shapes and sizes and colors, and mainly brown, black, and then usually some type of camo. Now do pay attention to just the size of these, because even a few extra inches can really make the difference. So we are currently hiking the Anderson Cove Trail. This is going to be about 3.7 kilometers one way. And we're hoping to make it to an old copper mine. Again, don't know much info currently on this mine, besides it being a copper mine. Another beautiful day on the island. Sun is out. A little frosty this morning, but this is great hiking temperature. Came more prepared today with my hiking rubber boots, so that if there is any water inside this mine, hopefully it's not above the boot, but we can explore it. Quite a bit of elevation gain right out of the bat. It's definitely a little bit of a lung burner first thing this morning. Done a lot of hiking this trip though. This is definitely kind of looks like waste rock. Oh, there is an adit. So there might be two here. How's it looking? Oh, look, that's cool, eh? Oh, that is really just unique. So there's two. That's probably like, goes in 20-ish feet. But that is really just, that's probably one of my favorite of how they are there. That is so cool. I'm gonna zoom out here. Look at that. But let's get a flashlight and go take a look inside. So I'll just show you this one on the left. No, this base is out right here. A very mineralized rock. That's probably the seam they were chasing. This is maybe as far as it goes. Yeah, that's it. Base is out here. So supposedly there's one more up here, which will be pretty cool. Home sweet home.
Those are some white feet, Adam.
I'm numb. Hypothermia.
Make sure you clean him after. Yep, your turn's next to have a bath.
Continue on East Sooke Road for 2 kilometers.
We are cooking on an angle, but that's all right. So we're just back in the town of Sooke, and we're gonna go for a walk on the boardwalk. It's starting to become a little bit of a time crunch here. Let's grab my knife. We always have, there we go. Oh, we always have these big goals of places we want to go and what we want to do, and we've done a lot. But that just means we get to come back. Another van just ahead of us there. I don't know if it's a camper van or not, but if it's on the island, it usually is something. Realistically, this whole trip has been a pretty big success. We've really just kind of learned what's working, and multiple days in the van is different than just one night. It's been fun. To be honest, we were already like, oh, I don't want to go home. But that's life, I guess, eh? That's good. That's things you got to do in a van when you're cooking on a slanted area. Of course, Cheyenne too just came back. She's like, you know, there's an oceanfront parking spot just over here. Not today, there is.
Well, you can ask her nicely, but I'm not going to just...
That's pretty cool. House, beautiful spot. I would just sit there all day, staring at the window. Beautiful. So we just came down here just because it's just a nice wood and boardwalk. Place for Maverick to kind of dry out a little bit too. Absolutely just love the smell. Oh yeah?
Just lots of little ones. Well, yeah, they go to school now, so the older ones say you can eat the chicken up to this point. Once you get this fat, you don't come back down.
Yeah.
They'll throw you in. They'll throw you back in. But once you get to this side, you know, they don't throw you back in. So maybe there's a little crab school down there.
What do you think is in it?
Chicken.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not scarce. You're filling them.
Crab fishing is something that I think we would both enjoy doing. It's a lot easier than just normal fishing, that's for sure. But that would just be an island thing, I think. Maverick's got a duty here to make sure that no seagulls bother anybody. Welcome guys to Chinatown. Well, this is just a parking lot in Chinatown. One. Enter number of hours. 1. Okay. All right, we got 1 hour to go check this place out.
Do you want to get a hot oil massage?
Yeah, no thanks. I love all the like balconies and stuff. Like that's so like New York City to me. This is pretty cool. This is so cool. This is just incredible. It is so cool. This morning we're in the bush. Now we're in Chinatown. Okay, this just walks through. So cool.
Where's the turntable? Where's the turntable?
Yeah, this is definitely was worth coming down. Such a cool little place. Loving this, guys. This is probably the most touristy thing we've ever done before. Yeah, that is, like, look at these little balconies, courtyards, whatever you want to call them. Well, that was definitely super cool. Complete opposite to what we've been doing. But this morning, you know, hiking in the rainforest, knees deep in a mine. And now here. Totally different, but yet still really cool too. And again, it does feel like we kind of went back in time a little bit. Is that not just the most amazing just shot ever? Yeah. Yeah, Rapunzel, put down your hair. Oh, the lights are coming on. This is just breathtaking, and I'm glad that we came here just to take some pictures. Unfortunately, we were a little late because you can do tours and it's surprisingly really cheap. But this is just incredible. Now, I can't remember the name. It's called Craig. Yeah, we'll put the name here. We just don't want to butcher it. But this is just so cool. So we'll go for a quick walk around and just show you what we can on the outside. I have to have the camera out 0.5 just to kind of capture it all. There's a couple here in the Victoria area. Look at the chandelier up there. I'll zoom in. Absolutely breathtaking. You can tell from all the houses around that this is definitely an older part of Victoria, just the style of houses. Oh, would have loved to come in here. It's pretty cheap too. I think like $20 per person to kind of walk through, and you get the idea of kind of what it was like back in the day if you're rich. Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of like you to see what it would be like if you were rich back in like late 1800s.
See the kitchen, like the dining room and like a dress.
Oh yeah. Try to zoom in here for you guys. Yeah. Yeah, too bad. This is so cool. It's beautiful. Yeah, stained glass, the marble. Can't really see, guys, but beautiful.
I thought that's all like wood. It was
Yeah.
opens up.
Yeah. Wow. And their courtyard. This is just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright guys, we are on now a mad rush across the city to get to the ferry terminal. Took a little longer at the castle, but definitely worth it. And if we miss the ferry, then we're just stuck on the island for one more day. Hi.
Hello. That's me.
Zackle.
How many traveling?
2.
And no danger is good?
No ma'am.
Thanks. We're going into lane number 3. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're getting loaded on the top, which is good because then we can come on down to our vehicle if we want to. When you're on the bottom, during the sailing, you aren't allowed down to your vehicle, which kind of sucks. Never mind, we're not going to that one. We're going to this one over here. 2 boats. 3 boats.
Just for fun, let's go to the road.
Let's just, yeah, let's try. Let's try for that one. You're really tight in this one too, eh? Like, what, there's like no room. Let's roll. Already a big lineup. Well, I got the chicken strips and poutine. And Cheyenne got the grilled chicken teriyaki rice bowl. Hers definitely looks way better, but mine's probably gonna taste better. So every boat has a gift shop, and this one is definitely the biggest one. This boat in general, heading from Victoria to Tsawwassen, is one of the biggest boats, with a huge food court, tons of people. So the inner fat guy wants cheesecake. Well, we've done everything that we want to. I'm now eating cheesecake in the privacy of my own vehicle. Maverick is not liking just being in here. But yeah, we probably won't be getting to Tsawwassen till about 10 to 9. Running a little bit behind, but then it's the long drive home. Well, we're almost here, guys, on the mainland. People are just loading up. Wanted to kind of show you guys our little sticker collection here. This is for every camping trip so far. The only one we don't have a sticker for is for our time at Stave Lake. But that one wasn't very, very special. But this was our first night in winter camping in Manning Park. And then this one is from, where was that one?
Recently when we went to...
Porto Cove. And then obviously our island trip here. I think it'd be really neat to get an island sticker and then being able to start to like X off everywhere we've been. We've obviously been in some places with our overland rigs, but still as just a way to keep track and just to show everywhere we've been. But probably another 10-15 minutes. I did go up front to try to film us pulling in, but it is just very dark, very foggy, just basically like how it was when we left. So we got a 2-hour drive to get home, to have a shower, and yeah, we'll worry about cleaning out the van tomorrow. There she is, guys. A sign to hope. Made her home. Like 12 hours ago, we were hiking and in just sweaters and sweating, and there's frost on the ground here. Looks cold. I want to go back to the island. Look at this. Yeah, she called. Well, safe and sound, we made it home. And couldn't be happier, but at the same time, kind of sad too when you come home to that. For this old girl, You did good. See you guys.